for the efforts. I mean, we've been doing this for a couple of weeks now, so we have a little bit of a scope, right?
Hmm.
On when to go. So let's play some music, see if we can get some people in here.
So correct me if I'm wrong though, but you kind of want to keep a short like update today, correct? Because there's not a whole lot of
Yes, in the
stuff going on.
weekends, yeah, because X on the weekend is a little bit
Yeah,
slow.
it definitely works out for
Yeah.
me today. I do have my grandmother actually just passed a few days ago, and so her funeral's
Yeah.
today. So um,
Oh,
yeah, which I mean,
I'm very sorry to hear.
yeah, she was very old, so it's one of those things that it's very
Yes.
sad, but at the
Sure.
same time, it's like
Yes, in the
I'm
weekend.
happy
I
that
get it.
she'll be okay now. She's no longer suffering or whatever. So
I
that's
get it, but
she's in a better
it's a
place.
charge day,
It's
nevertheless, right?
so yeah, it's always a lot, yeah.
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
was in my head, I was trying to think like, okay, how am I going to balance this? And so
Sure.
it's comforting to hear that you're like, okay, like I just want to do a quick touch because I'm like, okay, that's gonna be
Of
perfect.
course, we are bound by no rules and by
Yeah.
any means, guys. If something happens in life, right, it's nice if we can work together. And then if we just on the weekends pull up for like half an hour, that's
Mm,
fine too. We're just remaining consistent. And if something happens, then let us know, right?
right.
I mean, something
Turn
could
up
happen
every
to me
day.
too. Yeah, show up every day. But if you really really can't, because sometimes life happens,
Oh,
right?
I'll telegram you. Yeah,
Yeah, then
absolutely.
telegram each other, and you know, I can also host a space by myself, or you can possibly just cover each other in this way.
Right.
So yeah, let's play the song, and I'll get some things ready too, and we can listen to the song because yeah, it's a nice song. It's a nice
Awesome.
song.
Awesome. And the stream should be up in the Gigatron too. I think so.
Awesome. Let's go.
It's not showing for me yet.
It's not okay. Okay, I did something wrong then. I'm gonna.
All
Oh, I know
right.
what I need to do.
Well,
Right. I got it. Thank you for
well, we'll
telling me.
play the song, and then for sure everything will work out.
Yeah,
It,
yeah.
it'll all
Yep,
fall
yep.
into place.
Let's go. Here we go. Yeah. What's a ticker?
What's the ticker? Where's it at? What is the ticker? Where's it at? I got crypto in the bag, send the CA in the chat. Gonna ape another fact. Got a runner on the map, Solana sniping like a gat. And the Soviet is moving quickly. I'm the squeeze 'em where they at. I'm trying to bring them influence back. 1,000x is gonna land. I got he chilling in the back, and the gas fees are gonna slap. Where's the ticker? Where's it at?
All right, I think we should be done by now.
Yeah, it's all up there now. I can see it.
Yep, yep, yep. Cool. Yeah, so it looks like we're not going to have a big audience today. Of course, yeah, it's Saturday. It's on X. It's been a little slower on X due to the absolute mayhem that Elon is costing us
Yeah.
Yeah,
with
it's
new
been very
True.
slow
algorithm.
today.
Yes, that update has really messed with everything. And, you know,
I
Grok
think the
says,
good
Even
mornings are
you.
gone.
Even
the
you
good
had the
morning
short
is,
end of the stick, right?
well, I still have 100 comments under my GM. I mean, right?
Okay.
Uh,
But you weren't able to
yeah,
follow anyone for like 24 hours, right?
yeah, that's the thing. It worked again a little bit today. It was all right, but still very touchy, right? Very touchy. I'm reluctant to like a few things in a row or something, right? It's
It was like
horrible.
that for me too. I kept getting those like 3 day things. It's like it was telling me, yeah, you're
Yeah,
limited for like 3 days or whatever. And so it sucked because I couldn't follow anyone,
yeah.
for like 3 days at a time. But anyway, yeah, that it's a shitty feeling,
You
especially when you're
get
paying for the service. If you're paying for the service, you
oh
expect
yeah,
it to work.
it, yeah. That's it. That's the horror, right? So it's yeah, you
But
know.
this is what I feel like's weird. I feel like if you're paying for a subscription, that should be enough to show that you're not a bot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
straight up,
premium
dude.
premium plus, right?
I don't
Yeah.
know if you know, but I had two old accounts, Wild and Tick. They were called BW or Chill Hustler. And I did absolutely nothing wrong on these accounts at all. Maybe the giveaways might have gotten me flagged once or twice, but that was it.
Yeah.
And I paid for a year's premium on both of them, and both of them got banned with no explanation to me.
Yeah.
Th- That's a racket, dude.
And
That's
look,
messed
you
up.
know, look, it's still a thing when you saying hello and good morning is just a thing, that people do. Why shouldn't we
Exactly.
do it? Because if bearish, I'm just going to keep on doing it. I just want to wish everybody, hey, good morning. I'm awake. I'm here.
But like,
Right?
what else do you say?
Yeah. Well, I see people now making like weird content around this, trying to wiggle. And I'm just like, yeah, well, I'm not going to stand for that. I'm just going to say good morning. Fuck the monetization. There's plenty of other ways to make money that brings in a lot more dough than X ever will, because X is not that hot. When you monetize, man, you need a shit ton. You need a shit ton. And it costs a lot of energy and a lot of work. And I don't think it's worth it. Right?
I think if the payout was a bit better, it would be a lot more worth it.
Yeah, but it's not. So,
Grinding
look.
40 hours a week for $300.
Yes, exactly, right?
Dude, it's
I mean, that
pretty
is not
That's
insane.
a
Yeah.
9 to 5.
that's not
Mm-hmm.
good use of your
Literally.
game.
Yeah.
Now, it's good to up your engagement, right? It's good to have good engagement because other things might be able to pay you because you have high engagement other than Elon with his X, right? So, yeah, there's that. I've been, because guys, I like Sui. I've been on that chain for a long time, getting around. When Raiden came out, of course, I had my referral link. I started boarding people, and I make more money passively with that. Just being in spaces and mentioning that, right? It's like BullX. A lot of people use BullX. They relate to that. Well, this is the same monitor, but then for Sui Chain. And I was just explaining that to people and then just asking, hey, you want to sign up? Please use my ref link, blah, blah, blah. Just being nice, being in spaces, right? Having a chat. Yeah. So that, just occasionally tossing that out there, not even intentionally, right? But then people asking, hey, how are you a trade on it? And well, yeah, got a link here for you. Right? But just doing that is creating like an income stream passively because you earn commission on their trades.
Oh, speaking of commission, I just stumbled across
Yeah.
something that,
Mhm.
oh man, I faded something. Attention coin. So attention coin on GiveRep. If you tagged
Yes.
attention coin, which I hadn't been because I was like, oh, I'm not gonna tag
No.
too many things, so I was just tagging Raid and X and GiveRep, and
Free. Well, you have to go look on the website of GiveRep
yeah, today was the
to
last
see
day for
to
attention token.
see yeah, where these loyalty programs to
Mm-hmm.
see how much time there's left. And
Oh, the
Raiden
Raiden
was
one's
not.
already the Raiden one
Yeah,
already ended.
yeah. Well,
When
I
did that
think this
end?
is how they do it because I have to Google Doc because I was looking maybe for Nami to do
Yeah.
something like that. See how expensive it is. Probably really expensive, but
Uh,
I guess they would ask you for, let's say, 2K,
yeah.
right, or something like that, and then they would fill in. You probably pay that amount per 100 views, and then you can buy with 1K. You can buy 50K views, 100K. I think it's a setup like this from the other end, right, from the
Mm.
selling point of view. And so I think the credits just ran out, and then I think the team is just going to be like, "Hey, you guys, you're going to renew?"
And
You
then
know,
and then
yes
that
or no,
opportunity
right?
might come back.
Yeah. So,
You're
so
on
I
the
think that's
leaderboard
what
at
it is.
36th place on the Raiden board, by the way. Did you see
I
that?
know. Yes,
I'm
I
looking for
know.
myself and I still haven't found myself. I'm like, dang, I'm way
It's
back here.
it's like estimate income was on that one post because that was just one. What was my good morning post,
Wow. I
and
should
it
have
was
thrown it on a good morning. I was
20.
just yeah.
Yeah, it was like $21 or something.
Oh, that's sick. That is so
Yo, that's
sick.
awesome.
That's enough for a moon bag.
Yeah, kinda.
It's
Oh, I was
$17
kind of
worth of
looking because
a
I'm
shit
always
token.
looking for the little ones to do something, right?
Yeah.
To make a little money. There's Hansi.
The
Hello,
nano
Hansi.
cap.
You wanna come on stage, man? We're just talking amongst ourselves here.
Nano cap gem finder.
Feeling good. Might delete later. Space. But But yeah, you guys. So I mean, it's petty cash. But if you are doing your good morning anyway, why not freaking
Straight
tuck
up
it in there? Eh?
capitalize
Yeah,
on that.
capitalize on that. Now that we still have some engagement, I have like 75 or 80 people still saying good morning. But it's definitely, man. I've had before, like 3 weeks ago, I was having 300 good
Mm.
mornings under my good morning. So it definitely dropped. Well,
I
people,
had a few days recently that I was getting 400 as well, but then it's kind of dropped off the past couple of days again.
yeah, yeah. Well, at one point, if you're consistent over time, I know that I am on a lot of people's lists because I always reply, right? And so you get hit up that way.
I
So
think I think Sweep replies to me quite often, which I'm quite happy about.
yeah, see if you are a good replier for engagement and authentic and real. I don't reply to the people that I don't like. I don't follow the people back where I go to their profiles. I don't follow them back if I don't like what I'm seeing.
Exactly.
Or if there's nothing corresponding on their timeline that I like.
And
So
also wild.
if it's something, then if somebody's just saying, "Hey, which color, red or blue?" Yeah, these people I'm not gonna follow. What is
Yeah,
this?
no,
Right?
no, no.
Yeah,
Just sorry, that's a
yeah.
funny
But if
example.
I see some interesting NFTs or they're posting about some things that I think, oh yeah, interesting, right? Or just I'm respecting the hustle, trying to push an NFT project, right? Or something. I'll be under there like, oh, looks bullish, right? I'll fucking I'll pump your bag because I wish that for if you come over like that, right? And that truly, in essence, I'm about everybody winning because that means I'm winning harder even. So I'll be first under somebody's post who's shilling something like, oh, yep, probably should buy a little bag here, bullish, right? I'll help it. I'll help it along. It is no
Also
sweat.
wild. I've got a question about
Yeah.
X accounts.
Yes.
So with non-verified accounts and you're verified, is it a good idea to not interact?
Well, look, the Squeaks was saying something about it this morning too. He responds to people without a. Now, I would say I respond to people who are active with a healthy account if they're not checked,
Yeah.
right? If I see like they follow 300 people and I see, just 12 followers on them and their profile looks messy, I'm not gonna, right?
Okay. Okay. But all right.
But
Thank
that's
you.
kind of the standard. But there is like eight is out there, Ali is out there. They don't have check marks, right? But they have very healthy accounts built up from nothing without the check. Uh, so a healthy account is a healthy account. I don't care if you checked or not.
I feel like it's it's got to be so nerve-wracking to build up an account without a check mark because
Yeah,
you're so much more prone to getting checked as spam.
yeah, definitely.
So you got to give props to those people. I respect it.
Yeah. Well, of course, like up to a few months ago, it was still relatively easy. So they've been at it for a little bit. You could actually do a lot more without a blue check mark. But now it's like freaking, it's like the Nazi, Twitter Nazi is upon us, right?
Yeah, you got to have that check mark now.
Which is ironic because Elon is against these things. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah,
It's
but
it
it's
should be cleared when we're talking on stage, which should be traceable, by any
oh, it is
form
wild.
of,
It
of
is.
course. Then how come I still get flagged as a freaking bot, right?
But this is the
So,
thing. What I was about to add to your point is he's against this stuff. Yeah, he's against this stuff, but is he against this stuff when the money's going in his pocket?
yeah, we can argue that, right? That is speculation at best, but
I
yeah.
love Elon Musk. Don't get me wrong. I love him to bits,
Yeah,
and I love what he does.
yeah, but this is kind of, it's also, like I said, it's very, very um, contradicting that you as a normal person is getting seen as being a bot. But then when your account is wrecked, you cannot even talk to a real person on Twitter.
Yeah.
Or why you spend a lot of money paying for your check mark, right?
Yeah, that hurt
That's
losing those 2 premium accounts.
that is, yes, I lost it too. Although I got hacked,
Oh,
but
that's
I got
even worse,
hacked.
arguably.
I got hacked, and I couldn't even talk to a person. This was not even my fault. I couldn't get into my account anymore. Things changed, and it was like shit posting on my profile, but I couldn't get in anymore. It was very strange.
And the
And
thing is,
so,
that's
so I
horrible for
asked
you to
them to
see.
lock it. I asked them to lock it. They did, right? Because you can. And then you have a whole investigation. Well, good luck talking to somebody real. Total bullshit, you guys. Total bullshit. Hansi, how you been doing?
How are you? I'm good. I've been doing good. How about you?
Yes, doing very well. Very
What's
well.
good, Hansi?
And just hanging, man. Just grinding here, staying up.
Yeah, we're hanging in. Let's see what is going on in the Marquito. All right, let's talk about it. Because yes, Tick has something real life too. I must say, I'm still not recovered yet from yesterday. I'm still a little feverish and stuff, and uh, I'm gonna go to bed early today. So on the weekends, when X is a little dry, X is always dry on the weekend, whether we're bullish or bearish, right? Um, we may want to just cut down on the time and just expand where we can throughout the week. All right, so yeah, Doge made a big rip. Everybody posting about Doge. You know, $1 Doge. It's coming near. Bitcoin is holding at 103.3. 103.3 is the place to hold. It looks a little sketch. I see that the layer ones are now believing it a little bit. I mean, they are starting to turn a little green. Also, there's some relief because the dominance just dropped a little. Let's look at the dominance again because there's speculation on the Bitcoin dominance about what it's going to do. So let's pull it up. Yeah,
Oh, it's starting to
Yo,
drop a
my
little
bad. I
bit,
lagged
huh?
out then.
you need to do a round trip. So let's see what's happening here on the super chart. Yeah, dominance dropped to 63%. So that means a drop of 2.5%. And that's why the market is turning a little bit green. I expect that when Bitcoin pumps up, I kind of expect it to go back up. That's my view on things, especially if we look at the higher time frames. Um, and also because we kind of want Bitcoin to go up with dominance because we want alt season to happen when Bitcoin is not here, but way higher. So let's have a look on the daily. Yeah, the daily chart, it looks very much like that bottom is going to be in right soon. We can still land on the 62. There's support on that 62. But then on the 60, there's massive. And then RSI is already on the floor for that. So we're getting a little bit of relief. Now we can get more relief, much more relief, I would say. But then Bitcoin has to make a move, and that will unfold over the coming week. I see that unfold pretty quickly. Just honorable mention for Nakamoto Games, right? Up 21% on the day. Game narrative is the second narrative after AI. Of course, we see that Thai token freaking hauling. That never waits for anyone. The Sui ecosystem is slightly recovering a little bit, was having a little bit of a hard time. Sui uh, challenging that $4, now being back on it, right? And then we see the whole ecosystem, at least the utility, they are trying to pump with, even though some are still in the red. For me, opportunity. I get FOMO there. So, yeah, if it's red over there, you buy red. You do not buy green, right? That's where the whole thing believe in something. Pepe. Pepe is doing a rally, same as Doge. So the blue chip memes are very much in charge of the meme sphere, right? They're pumping the meme section. And then, of course, the ETH memes are pumping. Why is that? Well, because ETH is doing a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
ETH is really hauling. It's a number two. It actually had approximately almost the same volume as Bitcoin had, right? Everybody faded ETH by the FUD and get wrecked.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was still going to be a thing, even though, of course, it's a dinosaur, but we know the dinosaur, right? So it's very big dinosaur too. So that's not going to go off the stage without any fuzz. And so that the outflow of Ethereum, that's where then I start to look at. So it starts to go to these meme coins, start flowing in the ecosystem. Part of it is going back into Bitcoin, right? And part of it is also going to Sui and Solana. Solana looks very good as well, holding that floor. Sui now looks a little bit better. It had a little bit of a bad time yesterday, latching on, dealing with its own resistance of that $4. But yeah, you guys, market is looking very good. I'm expecting. Let's look at Bitcoin again. Kind of looks the same as this morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of looks the same as yesterday.
Been moving sideways, yeah.
we look, the RSI sometimes needs to cool down, and it's really good that it cools down while it holds a support, right? But don't forget, there's bears up there. There's bears up there, so we need to come in with some volume and just shoot them down, right? Do some bear hunting. And so, yeah, we're looking good on the hour. We're looking cool down enough. Let's see, on the 2 hour, it can cool down a little bit more. So this morning, I was already saying, like, hey, I would see pumps tomorrow, right? If we don't see pumps by tomorrow, we can maybe start, retouching some lower levels. And then I'm talking 101, 102. Not that drastic. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
talking drastically down. So, but it will turn red, right? Bitcoin will turn red. So I'm looking for the weekly close. It's probably going to be one of the best weekly closes we're going to have in a long time.
Yeah.
And so the weekly close on Bitcoin is a thing, right? I
Yeah.
love it. I love what I'm seeing.
At
Yep.
103, we haven't seen that in like 3 months, I believe, right?
Yep. 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 Yep.
That's just off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure it's been since January 20th was last time we saw 103 Bitcoin.
Yes. Well, here's what quote unquote experts are thinking. This comes from News BTC. Is Bitcoin headed for a new all-time high after 104K triumph? What this market expert think? Now let's see what this market expert has to say. Since reaching a local bottom of 74 in mid-April, Bitcoin has seen a market rebound, creating a new price uptrend that has lasted over the past 3 weeks. Notably, the premier cryptocurrency crossed the 100K trade mark in the last week to trade as high as 104,300. Following this impressive feat, market analysis X platform New Thought Crypto has shared a technical insight on Bitcoin's next move. I love how they steal people's content from X to make an article.
Hmm. That's so laughable. Jeez.
New Thought Crypto.
It's
Well,
plagiarism.
at least they mention him. He gets an honorable mention.
That's wild that they're using crypto Twitter as
Yes, they
news.
do. Look
That's their
here.
news source. Yeah.
Yeah, always intellectual copyright, right? In an X post on May 9th, analyst at New Thought Crypto, is he an analyst or is he just a crypto poster, right? Now they're
Plagiarist.
calling him an analyst, right?
That's
All right,
funny.
providing a macro and micro forecast of the Bitcoin market using the Elliott wave theory. In terms of the broad market outlook, using the daily chart, these pundits, oh, now it's a pundit. First, he was called an analyst,
Yeah.
but now we're back to being a pundit. All right, this pundit explains that Bitcoin ascends to 104. Marks on top of the fifth wave, blah, blah, blah. All right, so What's the outcome of this? This is a long article that says a lot of nothing.
Hmm.
Let's go to the corrective trends begin. Yeah, well, there's potential for Bitcoin to resume its bullish trend before the correction is over, as there would be a price bounce in the line of the B wave, and that is happening on 106. Well, hints at 106 target before correction. What did I say all this time? We're gonna get rejected at the all-time high.
Hmm.
Now, someone needs to spend like a lot of time doing his Elliott waves, which I respect. I use Elliott waves too. And somebody steals that post from X, starts to say a whole lot of nothing, and comes up what everybody fucking knows. Previous all-time highs are always resistance. All right, it's over there. Somebody just made money with a whole lot of nothing. That's I read these articles and I'm just thinking, right, you stole somebody's X post. That's what I'm seeing, right?
Hmm.
You're calling him an analyst. Now you're calling in the second interval, you're calling me just a pundit. And the guy doesn't get his handle mentioned, just his name. It is horrible. And we come up with the same thing that everybody freaking knows in crypto. Previous all-time highs are resistance. It's just that, okay, what are we looking for then, right? We're looking for a rejection. Yes. Okay, so we got that. Are we going to get slapped in the face or are we going to get a slap on the hand, right? What is this going to look like? That's what we're waiting for.
Mm.
And then how does the dominance look like in conjunction with all of that? And from there we can then tell like, all right, do we have enough steam for an all-time high? We have enough steam to go to the previous all-time high. We know this. So, as of still, it looks very good, but 40% for another all-time high, in my opinion, there is no evidence for it yet. Not enough for me to be like, yeah, that's going to happen. Not seeing it yet. We will see what kind of rejection we're going to get. That's just hard to predict.
Hmm.
Um, we're holding good floors. Like we're very bullish about going to attack the all-time high, and then we need to see if we can hold just below that, like we're doing now when we attack resistance, or are we gonna have to retouch some lower levels because it left some gaps in the retouching of support. So we might get sent back there.
At the 100 mark, 101.
Yeah, we still have to do some retouching there, but also it left something on the 95, 96 range.
Mm.
And that all was resistance range,
Right, right.
97 as well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
96.8. Yeah. Or
yeah,
even
yep, yeah,
97.7 down to
yeah, yeah,
96.3. Yeah.
exactly. And it's important that you retouch previous resistance needs retouching to make sure it's support. So that always happens,
Yeah.
right?
And it's,
If it doesn't,
it's,
just
mhm.
mark that on the chart. Could be a next bear market low
Yeah. Yeah. An
because it wants to
opportunity
retouch.
for reentry.
Exactly.
Then the
So
next floor before for our bull run,
could
it's gonna
we?
need to find a
Yeah,
floor before it hits all time high above
yeah,
106, which could
yeah,
take months and months.
yeah.
But that'll
Right.
be an
Well,
opportunity for reentry because it probably will stay between that spot and won't drop
yeah.
below
Well, it left some
96 for a
more.
while.
It left some more gaps on. I'm looking at below 50K too. So it left some open spots there too, here and there. So and one that is significant and I actually marked as the bear market low then.
Mm.
But we just have to see what happens if we reach our all-time high. What is it if it puts us in an overbought condition heavily on the higher time frames? And I'm talking about that daily and weekly, then we are not going to have enough steam for to make much more, right?
Mm.
So we're just going to have to wait what we get when we get there.
Yeah.
And that looks good. So all in all, we're bullish. I'm not bearish. I'm just going to hold any predictions of new all-time highs. Of course it's in the cards, but like I said, I'm always on a spectrum with these things. So definitely it's on the table, but for how many percent is this on the table? How likely is this, right? And for me, I'm now like 40% likely. I was 30% likely. I'm now 40% likely because it's holding for it's doing good moves. So all looks
Mm-hmm.
good. But the indicators from me that will flash around that time, that will be the indicators that are going to flash when we are close to that all-time high to see if we can or not. So, with
Mm.
that said, let's move on. I see two of the same NFTs in here. Millie is in the audience.
Oh, what
I
up,
see
Millie?
Nuts, Lana. Yes. So you guys, I don't know what this NFT is all about. If you want to come on stage and
Jeez. It looks like something
stupid, is
Napoleon
it
Dynamite
stupid?
drew.
I think it's stupid, but then stupid in a good way, nah? All right, stupid. Well, here you're getting a mention to NFTs. They're on the live stream on X. You're on the live stream on YouTube, and
Stupid.
you guys are from.
Oh my gosh. Stupid CTO just screams red flag to me.
Yeah, but
I'm
kind of
like,
does.
is it a
But
real
then kind of,
CTO?
yeah, but look, kind of also bullish. Right? I
Oh
mean,
man.
you know,
Yeah.
walking around with a flag saying this is the CTO, that's kind of bullish too. I mean, most are not advertising that anymore. That I mean, it could be so stupid that it's bullish.
Stupid is
See
as
what I'm
stupid
getting at?
does. Oh, wait.
Well, in this case, that would be bullish then. See the rhetoric?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the that retard finance coin went absolutely bananas a week ago or two
Yeah.
weeks ago. The
Yeah.
whole
For
retard
a little bit.
narrative took over for
Yes.
a minute.
Yes. Oh, I see. Lamb is joining the conversation. We're listening at least. Bones, if you guys want to come on stage, you're more than welcome to. We're not going to keep the shop open for too long because Tick also has to do some real life uh,
You got to put on a
intense
suit. Put on a
reflecting.
suit
You got to put
today. Yeah.
yes. And look, even though you are emotionally in a good place with this, others may not, and they might need your shoulder, right?
Yeah.
So
No,
you
absolutely. It's
might
gonna
need to
be
show up.
interesting.
Yes.
But we got the
Yes.
wizard in the house. Nuts. I seen that PFP the other day.
Nuts. It's a
That
great one.
that thing is sick. I love it.
It's a good color.
Yeah.
I love it on the purple background too.
That lavender purple
Yeah,
with that
yeah,
orange shade. Yeah, that thing looks sick.
very charming. But then again, I really love the turquoise as well.
Hmm.
I don't know, I just love colors that way.
Yeah, turquoise, mint, and teal are like some of my favorite
Yeah,
shades of blue for
yeah.
sure.
So I had some AI tokens on the menu, but that then we'll have to wait for tomorrow.
TARS, like you were saying, is absolutely ripping, going
And
bananas
ripping
today. It's at
freaking coin.
11.1 today.
Yes, I
TARS.
took. Well, here's the thing. I'm actually trading Thai against Deepbook on Sui.
Okay.
So here's what I do, right? So I took that ride in Thai, stuck it in the Deepbook, and Deepbook is now pumping. And while Thai is now retracing,
Right.
and I'm
Okay.
gonna do it all over again.
Oh, so those two are basically they're trading like opposite of each other.
Yeah.
One is down while the other one's up. Huh.
Yes. If you find if you find a pair like that are really,
That you could rotate.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm like boom, boom, and that's a good thing because I'm helping these pumps on the chart with my volume, with my
Yeah.
little bag of.
I still haven't picked up any deep
Anything.
because I've picked up the other ones. I've got the Millie, Nami, Sui. I had some Wall. I had some, but I had faded deep because I was like, oh, I can't grab everything. I'm like, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
slowly accumulate, and so that was the only
Yes,
one I
of
haven't
course.
because it's the
Yeah.
liquidity
Yeah.
layer. So for me,
Liquidity. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's cool, but I'm not. And you don't stake either. You just trade it, correct?
I just trade it. I don't
Yeah.
do use. I don't use the
Right, because
utility. I'm
this,
liking it
yeah,
for the utility, so it gives me an indication how long I can hold this.
yeah,
Right? If it was just a meme token, then you look at it differently, right? But
right.
yeah, it's deflationary. It's the liquidity layer, so that's a pretty and still it's volatile, right? Because it's on a young chain and these market caps are low, so still it's volatile. Don't get me wrong, but it will have some more stability. We clearly tell on Sui, it's very clear. Utility runs first, and it trickles down in these meme coins there, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you can see that rotation from native token into the utility, from the utility everywhere else.
You don't know anything about Koi, do you? On Sui, Koi was up like 100 and
Boy,
something per. I don't know
yes.
anything
Well, I
about
got
it.
yeah, I got it shilled to me, but I don't know who's behind it.
On the
And
four
if I
hour,
don't,
on the 4 hour
yeah,
is up 29%. And yesterday it was down
yeah,
significantly. Yesterday it was down like 30 or 50%. And I was like, oh, damn.
yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah, I'm looking at the
it's
chart.
not hard. It's not hard to pump something 20-30% when it's a certain market cap, when it's low market cap.
Yeah, it says fully diluted volume 11K. What? Market cap
That's nothing.
11,000? Yeah,
That's
that's. I want. This
yeah.
can't be
So,
accurate. There's no way that's
no,
accurate.
or it's a rug. So I don't. If I, somebody put it in my DMs, and I'm like, well,
Well, it
if I
got
don't hear
rugged.
from, yes,
It got rugged, and then now it's starting to climb back up. But yesterday
yeah. But the
it
same happened with
plummeted.
Baby Lofi. But guess what? I actually have a moon back in Baby Lofi. It's like 30K market cap,
Okay.
but I'm just bullish on the ticker because I know
Okay.
Baby Doge. I know these babies. The babies always do well.
Yeah.
So not financial advice. It's me doing a risky bag. It could also bust. But look, from 30K market cap going to 300K market cap is a 10x. And shit will go crazy when it's alt season. I'm just parking a little something in there, right?
Baby
It's good
Lofi.
to yeah,
So
baby loafy.
market cap. I don't. I'm probably looking at a fake one. This one's 204,000 market cap. That can't be right.
Oh, maybe they did they move? I
Baby
haven't
Lofi.
looked.
There's two of them though. There's a clone. There's B
Oh
Lofi and then BB Lofi.
no, there's two. There's you got to do baby loafy.
Shoot. Yeah,
I
that's
remember
very
when it was
bearish.
launched, it
There's
was two, and then somebody came up with baby Axel. All the babies were yeah.
oh
This one
Baby
is
Lofi.
37K.
Maybe Baby Lofi one word.
Yeah, baby loafy, one word.
This is. I think this is it now. Okay, I think I
Yes,
have it.
yes, a 37K market cap.
Yeah.
Absolutely shit volume. Nothing to it. I see that in the TGs. Actually, there's something there, but you know, yeah, I know. Sometimes it just makes sense.
And they're posting May 9th.
Yeah.
Lofi the Yeti reposted the Baby Lofi. Oh, so but they're still active. Baby Lofi's still active. They're
Yes,
posting every
it's
day.
active. Yeah. The TG is a
Whoa.
little rumbly, right? I think
Just,
baby narratives are fine. I mean, take
yeah.
me from 30K to 300K, 10x done. Nice. Maybe we'll do some more. I
Well,
don't
the
care.
thing is a
Right?
small
It's
bet.
fun.
You don't even need to place a big bet. You can place a $20
No, that's
bet
it.
on it and
That's it.
if you hit a 10x or 100x
Yeah.
on that, you're chilling. The
That's why it's just fun for me. These are fun tokens, and I use
exactly.
my
That's how
fun
I look
fund.
at it. Yeah, to me, it's
Yeah,
just a little like slot machine
yeah,
that I have like a
absolutely.
slightly upper advantage than I would at a
Yes,
casino.
absolutely.
But it's pretty much the same
Absolutely.
risk, about like a one in thousand shot. Actually, on Sui, it's a little less. It's 160 now, right?
Yeah.
About 60 meme coins on there. And if you look at the bird eye and look at what's pumping on Sui, it's like, damn, my odds are very good. It's like, of seeing some sort of return. FUD on
Yes, your
Sui.
odds are good, right? Your
Yeah.
odds are good.
Yeah.
That's because volume. When the volume goes up, it goes up for the whole system. And just because one doesn't pump yet doesn't mean it won't, right? So
Right.
it's just like, okay, just chilling, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, you guys, Doge making that pump, right? We saw that this morning.
And word to the wise,
Yep.
like you always say, don't make any swaps while you're in the bear. While you're down, if your bags are down, don't make a swap thinking, oh, well, this one's going up. I'm going to swap into this one because this one's up 20%. Because that one that you swap into will start to pull back and you'll just be
Yes.
shitting all over yourself.
Yes.
That's but
Well, at least do not look. If it can be a strategy on Solana if you're doing new pairs,
yeah,
just created tokens. Yeah,
and the
definitely
return,
swap out if shit goes wrong, right?
right,
I
right.
mean, stop loss there all the freaking time. But
It's a weird dynamic. Yeah,
generally, to rotate out of your portfolio positions to go chase something, yeah, that's
usually a
not a
bad
good
idea.
thing, right?
Yeah.
Yep,
I've
yep.
gotten
Usually, the
lucky.
right.
I've definitely gotten lucky doing that because I'd see something that's running
Mhm.
and I'm like, oh shit, if I
Yeah.
swap into this right now, this is gonna be I'm gonna be able to get back like whatever and 1 in 100 times it actually might work like that if you time it correctly and you're paying attention and
Yes.
you can like accurate but nailing
Sure.
sniping it like that is such
But
a
if you
yeah,
if
it's a lot
you
of
if
work.
you have that behavior on repeat,
Yep.
then you're gonna get wrecked.
Yes, you'll end up chasing your tail and
Yep.
running into a
So
wall.
yeah, you can do it on occasion, right? And still have the rest of your portfolio intact and buffer against these risks, right?
Mm-hmm.
That you're taking. Okay. But if that's behavior that you're always doing with your trades, yeah, that's the you get wrecked. You get so wrecked in all season. I cannot tell you
I just
because some
saw
things might turn red, and then everything else is pumping,
yeah.
and then the thing that's red is going to turn even redder. Where do you think that these people are going with their huge profits?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
got
buy
it.
the token that you just sold.
I found something that's red right now that looks very promising to me. I want to know if you know anything about Sue AI. I don't know if you had mentioned it to me before. It's 4 million
I
market
think
cap, 4.2 million market cap, and it's
yeah,
down like 8% today. So I'm wondering if that's what. Do
yeah.
you have
Look
any
left.
thoughts?
I can't pull it up at the moment because I
Mm.
switched my screen out. But you can look left, see where
When
price
I
touches the most
when I look left,
on a
where
higher
it
time
touches the
frame.
most, yeah, where it touches the most is only a little bit higher than where it's at right now. Only about 20% where it's at right now is where it
Yeah.
touches the most. So
Then wait.
it'll probably go back up to that level and just stay there and you
Yeah.
just end up
Then wait
standing
because
still.
it's low cap. It can take 30% down
Yeah, yeah, true. I was just
because it's
wondering if you
four
knew
million
anything about
market cap.
Sue AI because the AI
I do
narrative
not.
is
No,
okay.
I do
Cool.
not. It's probably just another AI agent. Which look, most of
So
the AI tokens are completely smoke and mirrors.
okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
They use
I've put
AI.
some together. I have multiple that I've made. I got one that's actually really sick. The one that I showed you. I'll send you the Addy for it
Yeah.
again. But the one
Yeah.
that I made uses CoinGecko, Perplexity, and Google Gemini, and I had it
Yeah.
basically use like the 4 hour window to determine how the chart momentum's moving and whether or
Yeah.
not it's a smart buy or not. And it's not super scientific, but it actually works. And so I could, make that as a website, put that AI agent on a website and call it, Sui
Yeah.
AI and, just
Yeah.
disguise it as whatever. And it took me 10 minutes to make, literally.
That's what
So,
I'm talking about. So, look, that's why I say love or hate it, but we have to trade it because it's the trendy narrative.
mm-hmm.
So it's going to be traded. And, so I'm just going to have to hop on board with
And
part of the
don't get me wrong, I'm
portfolio.
not trying to minimize AI. I'm just saying that there is a
No.
pitfall because it is easy to reproduce some of them. So
Yes.
some of the models
Yes.
you'll look at it and you're like, "Oh, this seems like really cool." And it's like what didn't really take a whole lot of effort. There's one that I've been obsessed with for a long time called AI Research Orchestrator. And for whatever reason, it doesn't go up. Like it just I can't even find the URL right now. But AI Research Orchestrator is basically
Yeah.
a AI router that talks to it's multimodal. So it takes your prompt and runs it through multiple models to help you basically assess charts, tokens, and it helps with crypto. But for whatever reason, that technology just never emerged. The chart just got. It looked like the chart just got sniped and raided by people that were farming the liquidity
Yeah.
and
So
it
this
just
is
never
kind of what
recovered.
happens in all of crypto, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This is not just AI. On the stock market, we see this too, because I used to do these penny stocks. You see that all over. Um, there are companies that talk a good talk, but actually their product or their utility, their service is highly overrated. But when everybody feels bullish about it, it will make moves.
Yeah. You
That's the
sh-
thing.
I'm gonna send you
There's
the
there's projects on there's utility in the alts that is absolutely outdated, done for, but it's still being traded based on sentiment, based on memory of people. Well, it's garbage, right? They do not renew. They do not make anything new. Haven't freaking work put in the work for the last 2 years, 3 years in this bear market. People still bullish on it. Look at freaking Lunk.
I don't
That's
know
a
Lunk.
community. That's a community thing now.
Which
People still
network
post,
is
and
that on?
this will go to $10 Lunk. And
Is it
I'm like, are you
Ethereum?
delusional?
Lunk?
No, Lunk Luna Classic,
Let me
right?
see.
So
Oh,
that
Terra
was like,
Classic,
yeah,
that one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, people have been
yeah.
waiting for
So
that one to revive.
yeah, because Binance burned a lot of their supply trying to help the community because everybody's stuck with their bag.
And it
You're
just
being a
dropped.
delusional bull.
And it just dropped
But
the
look,
value of it. Is that what
no, they
happened?
burned it. Binance burned the token
Uh-huh.
for the community because they got so wrecked. Everybody got so
Oh,
wrecked.
oh, so is that how it's been able to recover? Is from Binance burning?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah.
I was confused.
They burned 63% of supply now in total.
Yeah. Okay. Was it
So you're basically surviving on a handout from Binance, and people still think it go to $10.
was Terra
So
at a
that's
penny?
delusional bulls. But sometimes delusional bulls win, you guys, because the whole thing is based upon belief
Mm, it
and
is, yeah.
conviction.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that huddles the floor, then we go there.
Yeah.
Even with shady utility, even with utility that's outdated, even with now. That said, when I look forward, I'm trying to be with the ones that are extra bullish because they have something that we can go with in the future with,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Like
And
Sui.
so my portfolio is set up to prefer these.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
emerging
yeah,
tech and where developers are going. That's
yes,
the alpha
exactly.
right there.
And there, right?
If
Because
developers are moving from Solana over to Sui, it's kind of like, okay, well, where's all the meta going to be?
we're
Where's
doing
all the
both.
greatest alpha going to be then?
Yeah. Well, there's something Solana will exist, and I will trade Solana because definitely they're going to get volume.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, even though if you would say Solana is not going to be mattering anymore in a few years, who cares?
I don't think it's ever
Delusional
going
bulls for free.
anywhere. I don't
No.
think
So
it ain't
delusional.
going anywhere because of the speed and there's certain things about
Yeah,
it,
it will
and
still be will be
yeah,
a lot more relevant than other ones out there.
yep,
Polkadot,
yeah, yeah,
Ada. It's-
yeah.
so
Dot is just like the ugly cousin that no one
yeah,
wants to hang out with.
that's it, right? So, but even there are delusional bulls. So everything is based on belief this way, especially in alt season, when people make a lot of money. You'll be amazed what buys you're gonna see happening, and you'll be sitting there like, whoa,
Ooh,
and even the token that
yeah.
doesn't have right the
We've
good
been
of
watching that
utility.
happen. Moodang
Yeah,
yesterday at 100 and something
yeah,
percent. That was for me. I was like, what?
yeah.
Why? Why that one? And then watching Pepe running. That's kind
Well,
of a
if I
given. Like
see
that's like, yeah, of course. Okay,
Mudang,
we're back.
when I'm looking at the Mudang chart, it's actually I think they were trying to write the sentiment of Bitcoin, and
Oh.
they of course these are seasoned teams. They will start shooting marketing money as soon as that market turns green.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna write that bullishness.
Giga's
So
up 30%, so that makes
yeah,
me happy because then that means that whatever Murad
yeah.
says isn't completely smoke and mirrors.
Everybody was funding that, but guess what? Anything that will in all season, anything that has a heartbeat,
Yeah.
anything that had a heartbeat over these last weeks or the last in the bear market that kept the heartbeat will get traded.
Murad
Now, okay,
said Giga would go harder than pretty much anything, and right now it is Giga. I can't, and I'm shocked to see it.
yeah, no, don't be shocked. Things don't die, and even sometimes things die. I was trading that roaring kitty, roaring kitty.
Yeah,
So there was
that's
a
a
new roaring
good ticker.
kitty. Yeah, a few months ago, like half a year ago. Not a few months anymore. I
Right,
think
in
half a year ago.
crypto time, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, there was this roaring kitty on Solana being launched. And I knew that about half a year before that, or a year, there was a roaring kitty on ETH. So Roaring Kitty was trending again somehow on X.
Hmm.
So Solana I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna trade it on Solana. Market cap is too high. So I went to Roaring Kitty ETH. That was sitting on 5K market cap. Yeah, that thing
Yeah.
was pumping to 300K market cap too. Now, if I buy at 5K market cap, how many X's does that make me?
60?
See? Yes. So I'm looking for, and that coin was died. That died, but it's a Roaring Kitty ticker.
Yep.
So
That's a great ticker.
I don't need to launch my own token. I'll just buy a little bit of there. And then slowly the buys came. It took 3 days, but it got there. All right. And
Dang.
I was like, nice. So you got to be smart because, especially, I have a ton of tokens that I just written down that have or a bullish CA number
Yeah.
because I know a lot of people are going to trade that too. And one thing, everything will be bullish. If it just sounds bullish, it will go. So I know all the bullish tickers, and these are projects that most of them have turned to dust. But I have a list, right? I have a list. And when it comes time for me to just fuck it money shit token in
Hmm.
alt season, at the end of alt season, I'm going to do these stickers. As soon as they get a mention somewhere, things get trendy again, I'm in there.
You got a little black book.
And I don't need to go for it to go to millions. Right? And there is no dev anymore. He sold.
What about
Right?
have you seen this new one on Solana, Bullcoin, that came out in the last 24 hours?
Yes, yes.
Bullcoin. That's a
Well,
great
yeah,
ticker. Up 1,000% this week.
yeah,
Today it's
yeah.
down
You know
32%.
that
Huh.
had its run. I looked at it. It's over.
It's
Done.
cooked. Okay. I'm glad I brought it up
Yeah, I
then.
saw Jan's World doing a live on trying to get it to pump to 10 mil.
Uh-huh.
But you know
And
what
where did it
happens a
get to?
lot.
6.5?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's the
so
usual goal.
on Solana, this happens a lot. So if you mention your ticker, it happens on Sui too, basically in every chain, because these fucking ruggers and scammers are watching.
Yep.
They will go as soon as you open a TG and it has a token name. They
Uh-huh.
scan Twitter for uh, newly created X pages for a ticker,
Uh-huh.
and then they're gonna launch it before you do with your ticker name and possibly even with your website.
Wow. Yeah,
Yes.
I've gotten had a few times, picking up the wrong ticker because I was in a hurry and I was,
Yeah.
panic buying and I didn't double check. And then all of a sudden I'm noticing that, I can't sell. And I'm like, oh man, I picked up the wrong CA.
Mhm.
That's the
And they
worst
they
feeling.
they launched their massive amount, and that's why I say a solution would be, if anybody from Solana team is listening, do not let them repeat tickers.
Yeah. Like a website
Ticker
URL,
taken,
like a .com.
yes, yes. Do not let it get taken, or have like a cooldown period. As soon
Yeah.
as the ticker is launched,
Like
there
72
cannot be another
hours.
one for for 3 months. No,
That would be
the
even better. Yeah,
longer.
90 days. Yeah.
Yeah, wreck them.
Yeah.
Because they just serial launch all the fucking time, and it's not like you can't do anything about it. You cannot just be as Pump Fun or Solana, just go sit there and be like, oh well, this is
When
how it
Pudgy
goes.
Penguins came out, there was like 15 different
Yes.
Pengu tickers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it was hard to find out which was the real one. And there's, Pepe AI. I had bought Pepe AI like really low market cap, and it like hit like 100x, but it was like the wrong ticker, and I wasn't able to sell.
Maybe they can even reserve a ticker, have like a service for that,
Yeah.
and then you have to pay for the ticker, something like that, to have it frozen for so nobody else can use it, something like that.
Yes, a proprietary
Before
tech. Yeah.
before you go launch, right? And then we cannot have these. Then these simultaneous same tickers cannot exist anymore. That is over. So they are very right when they say like, yeah, there's nothing we can do about it. Yeah, these scammers will always be there, but you can at least actively try and deter them. Now, well, that's what we do with burglary too, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we really want to be safe, we need to live in a freaking container underground, right? With, a military complex. But you can also just do the thing that is most efficient in most cases and just have like a trigger light that goes on when there's movement around your house. Because
Yeah.
guess what? 70% of the burglars do not like that. So you're not uh, you're deterring them. And
Right.
if you have a light and a camera, you're deterring them even more. Now, does that make you 100% safe? No, of course. People are going to steal, and some of them are a little bit more bullish about it. But the ones that are lazy about it, they're gonna go to the door that doesn't have a light, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and I think that approach would work for Pump Fund and anywhere else. Basically, you cannot copy the ticker automatically. Then, if you have like a service that would reserve the ticker, the dollar sign, and then the name, right? And you have to pay upfront for that a little bit. Well, that deters even more scammers because they're not going to put out before they launch.
Yeah, I wonder what
So,
the logic is
yeah,
in allowing duplicate tickers. Like, it's like, what
yeah,
purpose could that possibly serve that would be
yeah, free will,
beneficial?
free will. Yeah, but I think it would be a very simple thing that can deter these multi scammers because they do it multiple times a day, and they're so lazy about it. This is how it is right now. They reuse X accounts. You can go to that X account, then you see it's been changed 40 times into new projects within 3 weeks. And Elon is not picking up on any of that shit, and he rugs you for saying good morning too much,
In
right? But that can
Nazi
just keep
Germany, yeah, you
continuing.
can't say good morning,
So
apparently.
can't say good morning, right? Too much, or else you get rugged.
That's
So
insane, man.
yeah, that's insane.
Because I
So, but
understand the
something
premise. It's
something
like, yeah,
like this
yeah.
is very much doable. This could be easily patched this way.
You think so? So that technology wouldn't be difficult to develop?
No, no,
Hmm.
not at all. They can even make money of it by having, a ticker reserved on forehand for a certain amount of time to have it frozen for a certain amount of time. So if you're a serious project or a serious meme, you're serious about it, just go ahead and spend a little money. And I'm not talking like $1,000, but make it like even $50, because that would deter all the freaking lazy fucks that don't want to spend $50, and that's a lot.
Right. Yeah.
Some will rug you. Some will rug you for $50. How's that? If volume is low, I've seen tokens being rugged for like $100,
Yeah.
$50. I'm
Yeah.
like, really? You
Seriously.
went through all that trouble of deploying? But they can because they have just one website. They just have the same freaking ticker logo, and you see that thing popping up 8 times a day, and people buy it. There's also, it's not maybe people. There's a lot of snipers that just pick up CAs that are being launched, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. But yeah, I think it's easily patched with just not having these tickers being copied for the pump fund tokens, right?
Mm.
It gets out of hand and it gets in the way of somebody who's actually want to make use of the service with all the right intentions.
This is
I want to
funny.
create a meme token,
Uh,
right? But
um,
if you, as soon as you open a website, Twitter, or a TG with a ticker name, they're going to steal it straight away, steal all your art, and launch before you do. So now you cannot launch anymore because you're now bearish because nobody knows what's the real one.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, rant over. But of course, Bumper say, yeah, there's nothing we can really do. Well, yes, if you get 100% getting rid of these people, you're not gonna make it.com, right? But you can deter them. You can put some things in place that at least gets half of them,
Mm.
the really lazy ones, out, right? They'll be looking, I'm gonna go to a different chain and do this or something,
Yeah.
and at least you guard some sort of, how to say, quality
Mm-hmm. A higher standard. Yeah.
standard. Yeah. So
Um.
yeah.
But
I'm seeing more and more of this stupid. I see you. I saw you flying by in and out the room. You guys, recognition.
hell yeah, dude. Why don't
But
you
buy
guys
more
come up on
often.
stage and
Come on
tell us
stage.
about
Yeah.
what the project's all about and what you guys
Yeah.
are doing? I want to know. I'm curious.
Yeah. Yeah. You can take the last 5 minutes of the show because we did make it for a whole hour tick.
Yeah, the
That
and
happened.
I'm going to incorporate the TikTok thing soon. I had got myself a tripod in order to start doing the live streaming on
Oh,
TikTok, but the
yes.
I wasn't really fond of the tripod I got, so I'm going to return it and get a different one. But once I
Yes.
do that, I'm gonna have a TikTok stream going as well, because I just see the I don't know what TikTok is just blowing up constantly. Murad just made a TikTok channel right after I did, which was I thought was funny. And one of the reasons why is because he's saying, think about what AI is not going to be able to replicate and
Yes.
in the future. And that's something I realized a couple months ago. And so that's kind of when I
Yeah.
was like, okay, I need to get on the ball, and I'm starting to create real life content that can't be
Yes.
reproduced with AI, because that's going to become like a hot commodity here in the future. And so the sooner,
Absolutely.
yeah. So I'm just so you know,
Post with
I am still
original
in the.
content.
Mm-hmm.
I keep saying this, you guys. You do not need to be looking for content or be like, hey, I don't live in an interesting city. I don't live in an interesting environment. I there's nothing about me that's interesting. All right, that's in your head. You can make your own content about grass flowing in the wind, and people will like it. And it's your own content, right? There's something in your surroundings right now that's interesting for other people. There's something about you that you have to say that will have the interest of people. I just made of a windmill because I live in the Netherlands. So I was walking. It's right in my quote unquote backyard, very nearby. And it's always on my route for a little walkabout. And that mill is always moving, right? And I was like, hey, let me make a little movie of this, right? It was one of these the best performing post.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your on your analytics and stuff, you could see you had like higher
Yes.
views on that, more responses. Yeah,
Any more engagement?
just
Where
because
is
it.
this? Oh, this must be in Holland, right? And I was like, for me, that mill has been always there. I don't even see it. I walk, do my walkie. I'm in my thoughts, and my surroundings are my surroundings that I know. So, but this time I looked at it with a different eyes. I was just like, oh, this might be interesting for somebody who is not living here, wanting to see this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe you live in a place where there's a lot of farms.
Yeah, and
People are interested in that.
most
Yeah,
importantly, the metadata on that photo doesn't say it was produced with AI, and people can tell it's not
yeah,
AI when they see it. So that's
yes,
refreshing for people. People like
yes.
seeing real stuff now because everything is produced
It
with
is.
AI. So
The only thing,
that's
I
the
mean, I'm
alpha.
willing to post pictures of myself, and I have before, right? But the thing is, I don't want to be on camera too much on social media,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just because for a female, I think it's a little bit more. I feel unsafe
Yeah.
because I had a stalker before in my past, and that's not a nice experience. It's nothing to boast about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not. It's very scary, you guys. It's very much is kind of ruling your day when these things happen because you're
Yeah.
not feeling safe and you're being paranoid all the fucking time. And of course, I have a daughter that I need to protect too, right? So anything I do reflect on her too. And yeah, I don't want to invite any of that in. So I'm not gonna. But you don't have to, right? I was thinking maybe I should cycle through the city of Amsterdam, um, and then just film on
Yeah.
speed
Yeah,
filming, right?
you can, and if
Quickly.
you don't have a camera, you can get a sports camera on Amazon for like
Yeah,
$30. They're like super
yeah,
cheap, little like
yeah,
like a fake GoPro, and they
yeah,
work just as good. I've bought them when I used to film my mountain biking and stuff, and they work well. Yeah.
yeah. So something like that could be. But that's for me. But where you are at, that might be interesting stuff going on too.
Mm-hmm.
If you live in somewhere industrial, right? And the half of what and the other half that I'm linked to is very industrial part of Amsterdam, and they have like awesome graffiti. They have these graffiti places, and people are always making art there,
Amsterdam has
and it's
some
just
of the
so
best in the
cool.
world. Yeah. If you go on Art
So,
Crimes and you look at Amsterdam's page, it's like absolutely
yeah,
insane compared to
yeah,
everywhere else.
yeah. I'm very close to where that Anne Frank one is of Anne
Mm,
Frank. It's a very famous one by now. And it's actually they have like a whole graffiti museum, and everybody gets to have these walls. You can actually do it here. It's not legal or illegal, right?
right.
They have certain spaces and these buildings, these old buildings. They're just okay with you making it there. And then once in a while, They just scrub it clean so everybody can start over
You
again.
should definitely get some photos of that. That would
Yes, that's actually
perform
pretty
so
good.
incredibly well on your wall.
Well, yes, we'll just make some video of it. I can do that with my phone even, right? So,
Yeah.
and it's like a 10-15 minute walk.
Yeah.
But there's something in your surroundings that's interesting too,
Hmm.
right? So somewhere with horses running, film them, right?
Yeah, whether
There's
you
gonna
live
be
near the
people.
mountains or the beach or the
Yeah.
forest or,
Oh yeah.
the
The
desert,
beach. Oh
there's
my
going to be
God.
something that you can create
Look,
content with for sure.
when my parents died, there was somebody because I was looking to make something to remember them by. And there was actually somebody living on the other end of the world. There was a place that my parents actually went on vacation lots to, right? So I had a little bit strangely like a synchronicity there happening. And she was making for people um, really beautiful pictures. And she would make like how do you call a mandala,
Oh,
but
a
with
mandala?
flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, she would draw in the sand on her beach, and she would draw like whole butterflies, and she would put stones in them and beach findings and flowers even, and then she would make a picture and she would write the name in the sand of the loved one that passed,
Mm,
and she would take pictures of that and make it for you for like $25 or something.
yeah.
And I was like, that's beautiful. I do not have time or the state of mind to go do that right now myself,
Right.
but I do want to maybe use that as a card or a thank you card, right? Or have at least something. Yeah, it felt like I was doing something in a place that they'd love to go. So, right?
Yeah. That's a great
But that's
idea, and I'm actually thinking, I'm
yes,
like, oh, I could recreate that, something like that in
yes,
AI. In AI, I mean, doing it in real life would be
yes, or
better, but
yeah,
creating that'd be a beautiful picture though of a mandala drawn in sand.
yes,
That's a great idea.
yes. She would make that, right, and she would do it for animals too who passed and stuff.
Hmm.
So she had a whole business doing that. And I think that's fabulous. These people need to be there too. How creative, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
And other
awesome.
other people would be like, oh, that's a weird way to make money. But no, she deserved that money, right? Yeah, people should not do that for free just because it has to do with passings of things that we love,
Whoa. Yeah, I just
right?
created one in seconds. Save
Yeah.
image as here. This is sick. I'm gonna
Yes.
go onto the jumbo just so you can see it. This is pretty
Hmm.
cool. And then if I go upload
Yeah. Put it up
this,
in the jumbo, and then we're gonna do the outro.
here we go. Let's see if you guys can see it. Did it did it show up? Or oh, I have
Not
to go
yet.
to share to space, huh? Like that.
Yes. You first gotta upload it in a post and then just share it here. Share
There we
it.
go. Let's see.
Uh, it's not there for me yet. I'm waiting for it.
But yeah, it's just a mandala drawn in the sand, and what I should do is do like a bird's eye view instead of top down view because it's.
Oh yeah,
Do you see
that's how
it?
she made it. Yeah,
That's
yeah, that's how
sick,
she made
huh?
it. Yeah, yeah, and she would put like stones in there too, right? And things she found on the beach, and sometimes even flowers. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, isn't it
that's
beautiful?
yeah. Well,
That's so sweet.
and I was just thinking, since my grandmother just passed, I'm like, I wonder if I can make something like this, um, as like a card for some of my family or whatever. It's pretty
Yes, and
cool.
maybe put in some stuff there that represent what she likes. Maybe there were flowers that she likes,
Yeah,
or make the mandala something
that's pretty cool.
that she cherished, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
So are any of the guys from the stupid ticker
Stupid.
don't want to come up here today? You guys don't want to share?
No, not today. Well, then you guys got to join us tomorrow because I'm going to play that outro. Let's do it. Tick, I'm wishing you a lot of strength today. Be there for your family. Be the shoulder, right?
Yes.
That's even though you're good with it, other people might not be, and you need to raise them up, right?
Yeah.
You need to raise them up. Here we go.
Yeah,
Yes.
what's the ticker?
What's the
What's
ticker?
the ticker?
Is it stupid?
Hmm.
Is it stupid this time? I don't know. All right, Tick, thank you again. That's Solana, Hansi, Coach. and the stupid crew down there. Hey, come back tomorrow, guys. May want to jump on stage. I don't bite. Not on the first go, anyways. I might. I might.
Thanks again, you
Okay,
guys.
guys. See you tomorrow. Stay bullish.